So what is shaking, everybody? Time for another video. I'm Dreadful Rick, and this is going to be a I guess it's a contest entry. This is going to be for Pieface. So you all know Pieface, very popular in the VC, and very generous dude. And he decided he's going to give away a whole bunch of CDs. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, very generous guy. Just overall, look him up on YouTube. Type in Pieface, VCLT, or in this case, Blood and Goats, and you can find his channel. I'll also leave a link. And he could use more subscribers. It was really cool to get to know him during my time here in YouTube. And so I'm not going to start this video with a silly guitar thing. Sorry to disappoint you guys. You know, I think a lot of you guys could use a break. You've all been good. So I'm cutting down on the cringe this time around. So what does Simon want? So he wants, as part of this entry, to show albums that has a mention of blood or displays blood in some sort of way, and also goats, which I guess kind of goes hand in hand. A lot of goats and metal used in a lot of devil imagery and that kind of stuff. So I'm a little late on this entry. There's been quite a number of people who have also entered this 2 or 3 weeks ago. So like I mentioned, last minute everything, like everything else. So I noticed that as I was looking this up, especially the goats one, there's a lot of rams too. A ram and a goat are not the same thing. But I noticed that I think some people may have shown some things that wasn't really a goat. It's more like a ram. And I guess they kind of go hand in hand. So I guess it doesn't matter. I don't think Simon would care either way. So to kick things off, I picked up a Flying Dog Bloodline Blood Orange IPA to kick off this occasion. So they didn't have a goat flavored beer, according to the clerk when I asked him. Then I got a weird look. So anyway, to kick things off and to avoid some dry mouth, it gets a little cold in me. Thank you all for tuning in to the Dreadful channel. So I made some polls. So I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to show like a blood thing and then a goat thing and kind of just go back and forth. Like I said, I'm not going to keep you here all day. I've already rambled on enough. So to kick off an accessory, I got a blood thing. I happened to find this as I was going through my stack. An old SSo Magazine, which has a, I guess a picture of a goat here with a goat skull. So this is a very old issue from 2002, number 18. And it's really cool to kind of go back and revisit bands that were being pushed and promoted during this time. We got an old Vesperian Sorrow, Thisium Trist, and let me see, Evensong, Murder Corporation. A couple of these I don't have releases of. Some I do, some I don't. And the cover is pretty cool. It's got a nice list of bands: Rebellion, Reclusion. Yeah, 6 Feet Under's in here too. Still putting out albums as of this year. Emperor, Infernal, Impale Nazarene, Satan's Blood. Oh yeah, of course, Anal Blast. We could all use a little anal blast in our lives every now and then, right? Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. So there's that. Hell, I even still got the CD that came with it still in there. So yeah, has not been beaten around all too much. So I guess that's cool. And yeah, and Aphrotherian, Secret of the Ruins, an album I've never listened to, probably never will. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. What do I got? What's my blood? What's my goats? So you guys know I'm a strange bird, and Simon didn't specify that this had to be an actual metal record, right? Right? Uh-oh, where are you going with this, Dreadful? Where are you going with this? So, kind of a strange start. So, I'm going to start off with blood, and I'm going to show you probably the bloodiest looking record of my collection. And yeah, so this would be, and I have an old pressing of this. So I picked up this record store day release because I wanted this variant. Fucking Toto, man, Toto. Yeah, their 4 album, and you know, we all need a little Rosanna and Africa in our lives, right? So yeah. So why do I say it's the bloodiest variant or record of my collection? You've got to look at this. And I don't know if it'll come up well on camera, but maybe if I put it against this sleeve right here, you can probably see it better. I mean, look at that shit. That's pretty damn bloody if you ask me. I'm a fucking total record. Yeah, there you go. All right, so what else do I have? Let me pull a goat thing. Tape. Godless. This is their 2006. I think this is their debut. No, this is an EP. The band's still around, I believe. So this is Irreligious, Nominate Despante. So this is death metal out of Chile. This is a reissue from Sunshine Ward. And there's your goat right here. If you can spot him in that picture. And cool stuff. This is really cool, nice smoky shell. I actually want to show you the insert real quick because it's got a cool illustration. I don't see this too much with the tapes, these big pullouts, but look at that. Pretty badass. I don't know if the original EP was like this, but nevertheless, still quite cool. So Godless, there are quite a few albums in, but this is right off their demo. The thing about this release is that you can tell they're going for that really complex style of death metal. They're going for that, and that really intricate incantation, immolation, a type of sound. But the production is what keeps it down. It still sounds quite demo-like for what it is, so it's really hard to make out some of the intricacies. But you can tell that's what they're going for. That's what they're pushing with this style. Nevertheless, still an enjoyable listen. Really cool demo. So you know, yeah, Sunshine will put this out. So if you see this floating around, definitely worth a pickup. I would even compare this to the other Chilean band. I hate saying their name. It's like Colton, who also has a new album out this year. So there's that. All right, let's show another blood thing. What do we got? Oh, okay. This is the band out of Israel. They might have been one of the earliest Israeli metal bands, at least playing in this particular style. This would be, which I believe is their first EP, Salem, Creating Our Sins. Pretty cool. And the logo, I don't know what the hell's going on with that logo. Got a little bug in there or something. It doesn't quite scream extreme metal. I don't know, even though there is a lake of fire and shit going on here, but I don't know, that logo throws it off. And well, the guy there's got some paint on him and shit, like so. Yeah, the back looks pretty metal. The front, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So yeah, another one that's a bloody variant, not as bloody as the Toto. Kind of a letdown, you know what I mean? But still quite bloody nevertheless. And this was put up by Nuclear War Now, who reissued it. And yeah, so there is that. Look at that bloody mess. And really cool listen. 1992, I believe, was when this first saw the light of day. And it actually has a very interesting hype sticker. It kind of just, here we go. If you want to know what they're like, it's hard to describe the sound. This is an early style of metal that's kind of a mixed bag of different things. So you can tell they're going for that death with a doomy edge. And let me see, for fans of Samael, Rotting Christ, Paradise Lost, so coming out in that vein. So if you're listening to that kind of stuff, this is definitely up your alley. So for those who don't know, I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen this floating around here and there if you don't already have it. All right, what do we have in the GOAT department? You know what, let me pull one more tape for this occasion. And this is a independent project. and I wouldn't expect anybody to know what this is. But it's very cool listen, and this is a very high recommendation. You can find his stuff out on Bandcamp. I believe he is based in Texas, and this is Goat Bong. Hard to make out the logo. So there's your Goat Bong, and this is doom metal. Came in is very kind of what you can tell, very primitive tape. Not too high and fancy, very limited run. I believe there was only like 50 copies of this made. And his name, he goes by Michael Alcala. And what's interesting about this is that he's got several releases. And every year, I think since 2012, has dropped an album on Halloween Day. So this was released October 31st, 2020. And it pretty much, what's special about this is that this is the only release with vocals in it. Everything else is pretty much instrumental. So if you go on Bandcamp, everything will be instrumental. And but Michael himself does vocals, even though he does all the instrumentation. He does the vocals on the first track, and every other track has a range of different singers. So it kind of keeps things kind of interesting with the sound. It's not so jarring and abrupt that it feels out of place that there's all these different vocalists. For some reason, it all kind of fits. This has moments where it reminds me of Paul Chain and Cathedral. You know, and it was a little bit of there's some epicness going on. There's a bit of Candlemassy kind of things, you know what I mean? So, you know, and there's a little bit of the stonery tinges to it too, here and there, you know what I mean? I mean, it would name like Goat Bong. I mean, what would you expect, right? But this is some cool shit. So I really enjoyed this one. And this is the kind of little gems that is very underground and most people wouldn't know. But Bandcamp has reciting within their midst. So definitely a cool little score. What else? Where are we at? We're at Blood, right? All right. Here's an old death metal release. The band's still going today, though I don't own anything else by them. This right here, I don't know where I saw this. It might have been maybe Brave Smasher. Somebody recommended this, and I ended up with this copy of Blood of Christ, The Lonely Flowers of Autumn. So this is a reissue by CDN Records. So if you're looking for a copy of this, there you go. So Blood of Christ, it would suggest that it's something Christian, right? There's nothing Christian about this. So this is a demo of theirs, and this copy actually includes the Frozen Dreams demo from '94. So it's a cool little compilation of their very early stuff. Being out of Canada, you know, during this time period, you can tell this is a band trying to find their sound, but I think within that there's still a certain charm about it. When you go back and revisit this time period in death metal, and it's quite like the tone of the guitar is quite thrash metal, but with a ferocity of death metal, if that makes any sense. The vocals are extremely vicious. There's moments of, you know, deep gutturals, and then there's these screechy screams, right? There's screeching going on and whatnot. And the actual composition of the tracks are not as coherent, but you get so caught up in the brutality and the momentum and the tempo, you don't really worry about it all that much. So it really is a cool release. And this is I believe it's a CD only as far as I know. But cool shit. 1995, Blood of Christ. There's that. And where are we now? Back to Goats, right? So here's a release I really dig. It's believe it's a one-man thing out of New Mexico. I've actually been following this project for a while. And this is Valak, something like that. Started out very raw. It's that old, really primitive, static style of black metal. You know, it sounds like the bedroom stuff, right? But I believe this is some of the better side of this kind of material, if that makes any sense, coming out of the U.S. And so it kind of started out a bit like kind of how Lamp of Murmur started out, very raw, and then over time the production got a little more cleaned up, and there's more substance to the rather than just savagery, you know. And in here, this is their 2022 release, House of Infinite Horror. And within this painting, there is what it looks like goat skulls. So this is one you have to kind of squint a little to find it. Right there. I believe there's another one right there. So, and a bunch of other human skulls around it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But there you go. The backside, Black Gangrene put this out. The backside would kind of suggest this is more of that very raw kind of staticky kind of black metal, but you'd be surprised. This right here, just quite a bit of you can tell there's more atmosphere. There's more of that in the forest and whisper winds kind of stuff going on. And there's riffs. This is black metal with riffs, man. It's not just all fucking monotonous tremolo stuff going on. Valac, Valak, you'll never know from looking at that logo. But it is actually some cool shit. If you see it around, definitely recommend it. All right, back to blood, right? Let's do another CD. This is a band I discovered on Bandcamp, just like Goat Bong, and this is their second album. I think this dropped in 2018. They pretty much vanished off the face of the earth. This is the California Act. The first album, they were more like a doom sludge, and here they still kept the doom, and there's quite a bit of atmosphere, but there's more leaning towards like a black metal. It's like a blackened doom with a lot of ambience and open spaces. So this is Blood Moon. This is a Super Void Trinity. Very limited release. I believe only 50 copies of this was made. So it's another one that's going to be a little difficult to get some physicals of. If you ever see this around anywhere. I think there's cassettes of this also that was released. I'm really hoping this band puts out more material because it's really, really good. And fucking Blood Moon, man. I believe there's other bands also with that same name. There has to be. But cool shit. There's actually only 3 tracks. And they're like 10 minutes like that each. And like I said, there's a lot of moments of space and ambience and fucking atmosphere. And then it gets right to the fucking viciousness. It gets right to the doomy, blackened shit. But it's done in such a way that it's satisfying. It comes in at just the right time. It doesn't leave you bored. The production on this is actually amazingly pretty good, considering for something that's quite underground. So they whoever did the production mixing on this, they knew what they were doing. So yeah, fucking good shit. So yeah, it's on Bandcamp. So if you just want to check it out and listen to it, you can do it there digitally. If you can't get it physical, but fucking good stuff. So there's Blood Moon. All right, back to goats. We have, oh, so this is a fun band. This is a heavy metal band out of Sweden that's no longer active. I wish they were, but they disbanded in mid 2010s, and this is their debut from 2008, I believe. And this is In Solitude. There you go. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be familiar with this one. And there's your goat, kind of shadowy. It's fucking hype stickers, man. I hate when they put that right on the jewel case. But you know, it is what it is. Let me take it out, show it to you proper. And there's your goat shadowy figure there, and there's these figures, and you know, I don't know, they kind of look like penises. But it's a bunch of people there. But this shit right here, man, I mean, if you want like Merciful Fate worship, these guys fucking do it right, man. This is Merciful Fate worship done really, really well. But I wouldn't say they're like a clone of Merciful Fate. There's quite a bit of doominess to their sound. And it's actually very singable and very catchy. There's some stuff in here that is very accessible, but still keep it hard. Still moments where it's pretty fast. Really good riffing. Great band, man. I wish they didn't disband. I know one of the members here ended up in Ghost, you know, which kind of makes sense. The actual hype sticker says, you know, if you like Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath and Ghost and Graveyard and whatnot. So yeah, can't go wrong. Some classic inspired heavy metal. Yeah, I think also one of the members also was in Repugnant, which has Tobias from Ghost. So you can tell where they got some of their chops, and it kind of worked out for them. But yeah, In Solitude, great band. I wish they were around. And there's your goat. And we're back to Blood, right? Let's do. Oh, okay. Take it out of the plastic here. This is a hardcore punk out of Canada. Yeah, DOA, man. Bloody but unbowed. There's your Blood. Yeah, how punk is that, man? Damage to date 78 to 83. So it's a compilation of all the really early material. So yeah, nice Canadian punk. And so a lot of you who are familiar with this band will know this is an early band that Randy Rampage was in, who later on went on to Annihilator. Rest in peace. But yeah, man, more good shit. And yeah, so really good stuff. Yeah, what else do we got? We're back to goats, right? All right, let's do. Oh, here's a cool one. So here's another one that's not really metal. It's kind of falls into that psychedelic, acid-driven, just fucking drenched in that keyboard and psychedelia and just all that stuff. Some people call it magic metal, and I would say it's kind of in that vein, but these guys still have a more rock edge to them. It's not just heavily focused on the keyboard. So I'm talking about satanic ritual glorification. Yeah, nothing about this says I love Jesus. This is Capra Cathedral. Oh man, Kappa Cathedral, something like that. I don't know. There you go. So there's your goat. And it looks a lot like the In Solitude. It kind of has that same shape with the horns, the way it sticks out. And yeah, this dropped in 2022. So I think they have one more album after this. And but it's a cool listen, man. When you want to listen to something that's not always typical metal, but you want to kind of go back to that throwback 70s sound, a little bit of the Doors, but with even more acid. You got something like this. And there you go. So okay, we got the goat. We're back to Blood, right? And I think we're on our last Blood release. All right, let's do this guy. It actually even came on a nice red vinyl with it. You kind of to go with the Blood, but the actual Blood I want to show you is on the cover. And this is a band that actually broke up. I just found out very recently. They put out their last EP in 2022, and this is a band out of Finland who I don't feel like they got their due. They're around. They've had quite a bit of success in Finland. They've had some U.S. distribution, but I don't hear them getting mentioned a whole lot. I don't think they really toured the U.S. at all. So they were limited there. And I'm talking about Klaxo. And this is their 2016 Volume 1, The Gothic Tapes. We have, that's Mr. Laxo himself, who was one of the founder members of the band. And we got a bloody looking apple here. And so if you're going to start with their material, I probably wouldn't start here. This is nothing like their previous releases. You can tell they're leaning heavily on the Gothic with this. They do play a style of Gothic Doom, Gothic Death Doom, and it's amazing shit. Except all their stuff is in Finnish. So between the song titles, lyrics, fucking everything's in Finnish. Except for this. Here they're going for that Sisters of Mercy, that whole tinged goth side of stuff. And so I don't know why they went with this departure. It seems like the rest of the band members took a break from the other material, and this is a kind of an experimental release, kind of just a release that's kind of a little out there from the regular stuff. But it's a really cool listen. I really enjoyed it for what it is, but it definitely is not like their other material. So I know that Miko from Swallow the Sun does vocals for this band. He didn't do vocals for this release, but for the rest of their stuff he does. So when he's not with Swallow the Sun, another great fucking Finnish act. And but Swallow the Sun does their stuff in English. Maybe that's why they have more success overall. I don't know. But if you like Swallow the Sun, I would definitely check out their other material if you don't already know, but this is a band I've enjoyed for a while. And when this dropped, I was quite a surprise because it was not what I was expecting at all. But yeah, but nevertheless, man, if you like gothic fucking shit, like, you know, check this out. If you like more of the gothic death doom side of things, check out their other releases. I think it's all great. So that was the last of the blood. I owe you guys one more goat, and then we can get out of here. So don't have to hear me rambling all day. Here's a cool one. And this is the goat of all goats right here. So I could have pulled the debut Bathory album, right? But I didn't want to show all the stuff to everybody. I'm late in this contest. I could have pulled Blood Incantation, Rain and Blood, and all that kind of other stuff. But this is and once I show you, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is Elizabeth. There's your goat. And you can look at that and go, fucking, this is clearly, you know what this is trying to ape. And apes it really well. So this is a independent, kind of like a one-time thing put out by Joe Steele. If you guys are into Ice War, Ice War is kind of like a speed metal band. And, you know, Joe Steele's, I think that's his main thing. And he's got a few other things and shit going on with his projects. But it's really cool that he does this sort of Bathory worship kind of deal. And he really nailed that attitude and aesthetic. It's got that very early Bathory, that lo-fi production, the fucking evil, just behavior and everything, man. Just a performance. There he is right there. Mr. Steele himself. Yeah, he came with this little OB or whatever. So the packaging on this, it's pretty stellar, man, for what it is. And it's sort of like a little one-time thing. Yeah, so there's nothing, I mean, it's just lyrics and shit. But really cool drop. And for something like this, and evil as it is, man, what color better than black? It's gotta be black. So yeah, this is more of a straightforward video. And Simon, cool idea for a contest, man. I don't think he put a definite deadline. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I don't think he had a real reason for doing the contest. I think he just wanted to give away some CDs, which is still cool in of itself. But I'm looking around going, okay, there's got to be a reason. I mean, he's up to 330 subscribers, so maybe this is because of he hit the 300 mark, and that's when he had idea for the contest. I don't know. But dude, congratulations! You need more subscribers, and we'll find out who the winner is. And dude, man, you and Scott need to get along, man. I don't know, man. Nasty Boy, is he Nasty Boy there? Is that nasty? I don't know. All right, I'll end it here. You all have a good one, and keep it dreadful. And I'll be back, man. Maybe I'll do another contest. We shall see. Catch you all later.